Welcome to the Geneva Auto Show, to our live talk here at Mercedes, and I have two experts to talk to. To my left I have Terry Woll, he is the head of Aerodynamics, and next to him is Steffen Koehl, the head of Advanced Design at Mercedes-Benz. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Mercedes just revealed the CLA, beautiful car, and also a car that sets a world record for aerodynamics, and with a CD value of 0.22. And now the question simply first to Steffen is, did you have to compromise in design in order to reach that goal?
No, not at all, of course.
Tell me why not.
No, of course, it is a compromise. Working together in the field of design and aerodynamics, you come to a conclusion in the serious meaning of the word. Although it's fun a lot also to play in the wind tunnel with the models, it is a conclusion between the best drag and CD that we can reach and keep the shape and even get the shape by that better and more attractive. And that's what we achieved, and that's why we're sitting here today talking about the CLA, having that wonderful values and still looking such great.
Now, question to you. Some people think that the decrease of value is actually more important than...
Weight.
The decrease of weight is more important than the aerodynamics. What's your point on this?
I think this is very strongly depending on the speed you go. If you take a constant speed at around 60 kilometers an hour, the drag is getting higher than the rolling resistance, which is mainly caused by weight. And if you drive on the highway at 120 kilometers an hour, drag is already 4 times higher than rolling resistance. So in average, I think they are comparable.
Now, if we go, just to give it comparable, what is a 0.01 decrease of drag in comparison to weight?
Also, again, depending on the speed you go, if you go in a city use, stop and go all the time, weight is more important. So 0.01 is comparable to maybe 20 kilograms of weight. If you go on the highway, it goes up to 100 kilograms of weight in comparison. And in average, our computations show that we can compare 10 drag counts, 0.01, with 35 kilograms of weight.
Okay. Now, for you, when you have to design, and we look at the CLA now specifically, what are design elements that helped to reach the goal of 0.22?
Starting with the front, we can see that it is very helpful, of course, if the shapes in front of the front wheel are really nicely attached to the whole line of the car that follows behind. And we have a great volume in front of the front wheel, which gave us, and so the wind, the opportunity to shape along the body and flow over the front wheel. Tell me, Teddy, when I'm wrong, but I think that's
correct.
One of the main conclusions
the coverage
for the front.
of the wheel.
Yes. I mean, starting from the front, any edge, any mirror, any A-pillar on the greenhouse, on the roof, is important for the further development of the drag and its values. And in the end, it's so efficient and so important to create a sporty, in this case, and still very aerodynamical rear to the car, together with a diffuser that came from this perfect floor of the car.
So what are you, I'm asking, what are you looking more at when you do your work? Are you sometimes feeling, if I want to do this, I have to compromise a little bit, I have to haggle a little bit with Steffen, or how do you feel about it?
I think we always have to battle. But the secret of our cars is that there is no winner. The winner is always the car. So we have, in any times, we have found a solution that is beautiful and functional.
Now, when we look at the top 10 production cars with the lowest CD value right now, 4 of them are actually coming from Mercedes-Benz. that brings up the question, when did Mercedes-Benz start to focus on aerodynamics, and what effect did it have on design? We'll look back a little bit. First you?
Yeah, I think we all the automakers started with the second oil crisis in the late 70s. And since then, we have made huge progress. For example, the first E-Class, the W124, which came 2 years after the Audi 100, which had a drag figure of 0.3. We have set then the next record with 0.29. And since that time, there's a huge focus on drag.
I think even earlier. I mean, Mercedes-Benz was surely one of the companies with the first wind tunnels worldwide. And we still worked some time together in Untertürkheim in the first wind tunnel, one of them, or the first in Germany, made before the Second World War. So efficiency, research is always a field for Mercedes-Benz. Beside all emotions, values, quality, and racing. It is a part of our history, so it's also a part, naturally, of our future now in the presence of this
Would
car.
you say that thinking about aerodynamics even has sort of inspired design?
Yes, I think especially in the discussion of efficiency design, any fluid, any turbulence, any liquid movement is inspiring. And if you look on the mood boards of the creational teams, if you look on photos that guys hang up at their desks, it's very often pictures from the sea, from liquids, from strong winds and clouds. Movement, not only driven by engines, is something that fascinates, and it affects our cars. And this is also something very inspiring for the car design work every day.
Well, you mentioned it, the most aerodynamic shape, so I've learned, is the one of an eardrop. Now, if we take that shape, what does it mean in terms of coming to an ultimate aerodynamic design? Are we ending up all having eardrop shapes?
No, I think not, because the drop doesn't have to carry people. The drop doesn't have to touch ground and drive safely on an autobahn with 200 kilometers per hour, or make urban traffic every day with stop and go. A raindrop or a drop is going a very simple way. Cars are more complicated, so the drop shape may be the perfect thing. But the perfect thing for mobility is what we work together in wind tunnel, aerodynamic and design every day with the cars. That's my answer to that.
That's correct. Absolutely correct. I mean, if you start mounting wheels on a drop, it has to change its shape dramatically. But let me show a parallel in nature. You have birds and fishes who have to be very efficient to survive. And all of them look different, very different. And so I think there's this fear of making them all looking the same. There's no base for that. Look into nature and you see what our engineers can have as inspiration for the future.
But still, your goal is to get the lowest possible value, right?
Of course.
And then, where's the limit? Is there a limit, or and where are we now in relationship to that limit?
I think there is a limit. For cars with wheels, there is a limit. If you can look for those solar races all around the world, those cars, they have CD values a little bit below 0.1. So that is definitely the limit. But those cars, they have wheels like bicycles with not really very good carrying weight, driving dynamics, braking performance, and so on is already very much compromised. And I think if you want to get all these other features who make a modern car good, there will be a limit close to 0.2.
I understand that you at Mercedes have invested into a completely new wind channel testing system. Tell me a little bit about it. What is it? How is it different from others?
It's getting finished right now. I think we plan to go into operation in summer. And it is a tunnel not only for optimizing drag, it's also a tunnel for optimizing wind noise. So this tunnel is the quietest in the world, because Mercedes cars have to be the quietest in the world. And it has a very, very good flow quality.
Okay.
But in the basic construction, it's still a wind tunnel. So the basic principle is always very similar to all the other tunnels.
Now, does that change your approach when he has a better tool or more efficient tool?
I just wanted to interrupt and say it is also a great playground for designers to put their model in, to see the model in different perspectives and lighting than in the studios or in the outside gardens. A wind tunnel is a great laboratory also for exploring the shapes further on, not only because of testing them in the wind tunnel, but also to look at them, to take the clay oven and try some things. It is a great playground, and so we are happy with any new wind tunnel we have.
And it's close to the styling.
And it's very close, and yeah, it's
Few
more
hundred
fun.
meters.
The more high tech this tunnel is, the more fun it is also for the technical interested designers, of course, for this kind of high tech. It's very fascinating.
I mean, this also brings up another question on the side, more or less. As a designer that designs a car, a functional object, I think function and beauty must go together, and it must be actually quite exciting for you to see that those things can go together in a very nice form.
I mean, aerodynamic is not the only technical field that we have to compromise with. To create a car design and to clothe in a car body with a styling surface is in any part of the car technical and art kind of compromise. So it is in the wind tunnel, but the whole thing is a technical tool. Must be safe, must be perfect, must be Mercedes-Benz, must be fast and sporty. So it's all about compromising and finding the best solutions technically and, of course, aerodynamically with the design. So it's not a new field. It's not the only field.
Sure. So for you, I assume it's then the same, that when he comes up with a great design that works for you, that's creating some kind of satisfaction?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, we have 1 minute left. So what if we have 1 minute left, in 1 minute, or rather for both of you, half of it, what is your dream in terms of reaching the next 5 years in your field in regard to aerodynamics and design?
When we talk about the CLA today, and we sit here in the next 5 years or sometime, and we talk about the predecessor of this car, the follower of this car, I want to sit here and say we even made it still better, and that's a tough job after this car, and that would be a great goal for us.
I think you agree, and we're getting to the end to this nice talk here. Thank you very much to all of you, and goodbye from Geneva.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thanks.